Master Mage, Season 1, Episode 23. Seeing the evil temptation to escape, Sam wanted to root out, but Master Jackie had stopped the little boy. Master was supposed that Lei was full of evil tricks. Sam has a great chance to get hurt. The Great Master and Fang were all unable to help in that worst situation. No one could stand up at the moment. Master Jackie tried to explain to the little boy, but suddenly, he shouted out and passed out backward. Seeing Master Jackie got in a consciousness, Fang, Sam, and Yan were all in a panic. They yelled out the Great Master consecutively. The three of them shouted out loud badly, but how loudly they shouted, Master Jackie still had no reactions. They recalled that Master Jackie had been poisoned earlier. He must have been holding the poison all along. The poison had spread out. Fang and Sam shed tears staring at their master. Master Jackie tried to open his eyes and comforted his apprentices when hearing them crying. He told them not to worry. All he needed was to rest. By the look on the master's face, he was not acceptable at all. And so, Sam and Yan tried to bring Fang to his room and took care of Master Jackie. They had to help Master Jackie detoxicate. Fortunately, there was always a light at the end of the tunnel. They could use sticky rice to detoxicate the poisoned Jackie. Sam and Yan quickly found a huge vase. They poured the sticky rice and water into it, then lightly helped Master Jackie come inside. A few moments later, the rice had turned black, and Master Jackie's body was like evaporating the dark smoke as well. Sam and Yan were confusing whether the sticky rice worked on him. They tried to change the rice a few times after seeing it turn black. Sam and Yan were taking care of Master Jackie and Fang at the same time. Sam saw Master had been getting better and turned to Yan. He asked how Fang was. Yan realized that she forgot to update Sam about Fang's status. Fang was sleeping. His breath was very normal, but he was spitting out something like silk string that was so out of the ordinary. Sam ran into Fang's room to check out. At the door, Sam's face turned pale. Right now, he opened the door. The little boy witnessed what Yan had told him. Sam took a deep breath. He walked closer to Fang to have a careful look. The little boy was so confusing. Master Jackie had taught him very little. He was just a beginner exorcist, what he was supposed to do when seeing his family being hurt at the same time. Fang was covered by silk string, looked like a silkworm cocoon. Sam worriedly stood by Fang's bed for a while. He could feel that Fang's breath was normal, just like what Yan said. The little boy recalled Master Jackie had told him that Fang must have used all of his powers and the water inside his body as well, which must have triggered the change. Every time Fang got in injuries, he always recovered better than an average person. Fang got a special immune system. So everything Sam had seen was a good sign of Fang. Fang had gotten in a trance and was covered by the silk for 3 days in a row. He was like a mummy. Sam had tried his best to take care of the Great Master and Fang for 3 days. The little boy had continued changing the rice for his master, then headed out to buy more rice. That must have been a burden for the little boy, but he didn't speak up a word or whine. On the 4th day, while Sam brought the rice home and tended to change for his master, he saw a familiar back, standing next to the windows, Master Jackie. Sam was like on cloud 9. His master finally woke up and was healthier. Once the Great Master turned around, Sam was surprised at how the Great Master's skin turned that dark. He had changed the rice and forgot what happened in his master's body. Sam started to panic. He wide opened his mouth and was unable to speak up. Seeing the weird Sam, Master Jackie had to speak up to clear the scene. The poison inside his body got out, but he had dipped his body into the rice too long, so his skin was still in a dark color. He needed more time to get everything back on track. Master Jackie didn't give Sam any further explanation. He wanted to ask after Fang how Fang was, if he got any better. He walked faster and faster to Fang's room. Yan was sleeping right next to Fang at the moment. The girl had to spend some sleepless nights to take care of Fang and Master Jackie. She had just passed out. Hearing the footsteps of Master Jackie and Sam, she jolted awake. Seeing the awakened master, Yan was pleased, but she was shocked once she saw the dark skin, just like Sam. The great master just smiled at her and walked towards Fang. From Sam, Master Jackie learned that Yan was very dedicated to taking care of him and his apprentice. He gave Yan a sincere thank you. Yan nodded her head like she wanted to accept the thank. Then she told him sadly that that was the right thing to do. She wishes her hard work would help Master Jackie and Fang get better. Master Jackie watched how Fang reacted at the moment. Those silks were helping Fang recover his body. There was nothing to worry about at the moment. The only concern was how long it was going to take for Fang to awake. Seeing the worries in Yan's face, Master Jackie explained that Fang was holding the demon fish's pearl, which had been cultivated for centuries. The pearl might work on Fang and made a silk cocoon to get back the water amount he had lost during the fight. That was really a good sign. Fang was able to get up in no time. Master Jackie was worrying about how they could return the pearl to the demon fish later on. While they were talking, they had heard a woman's voice. That was Yan's mother. Yan was ever subtle. She could instantly read the scene by glancing at Master Jackie's face. She gave him an apology for her mother's loud voice. Yan's mother had stepped inside the house. "Do you curious where Yan's mother was the whole time? Our great master's life was way too quiet without her. It turned out she had been out of the town because she wanted to head to her birthplace. Right now, she got back in the house. She yelled out that her house was not fixed, how Master Jackie and the rest let their home be ruined." Yan's mother didn't just stay still. Seeing Master Jackie was backing on her, she walked closer to him and looked at the great master's face. Eventually, she busted into laughs. She gazed at Fang, who was covered with silk, no idea what that was, but she just laughed and talked aloud. Yan was afraid of her bad-mouthing mother. She spoke up and led her mother outside the room while Jackie was speechless. Out of the blue, someone was calling him from the outside. Master Jackie ran out and realized that a villager was living near the mountain, and Jackie barely talked to him. The man was way too frightened to talk it clear what had happened. Master Jackie had to calm him down and ask him once again what had happened. The man tried to pull himself back, hold his breeze, and told Master Jackie that there was a mountain monster in the village. The beast had kidnapped some kids. He begged Jackie to help the villagers out, brought back the peace for them. Master Jackie had just recovered from being poisoned. Still, once hearing someone was trying to hurt the innocent people in the village, he turned to Sam and told the little boy to grab up their stuff and followed the man with him. Master Jackie also asked Yan to take care of Fang while he was away. Sam obediently followed his master but still didn't understand what could happen. He asked what mountain monster was. Master Jackie explained that the mountain monster was a kind of monster living inside the mountain and barely got out of their place. At the moment, the beast had come out to kidnap children in the town. It was weird to him. There must have been something shady under the surface.